YouTube is done properly, it will be the best source of lead generation for your business by far. So in this video, I am taking you through the steps that you can take to start seeing some real results for your YouTube channel, even if you are brand new. Let's get into it. So before I get into, essentially the techniques and exactly what you want to do to get the best results possible from YouTube, I want you to understand the power of YouTube. And I'm going to make this full width just so you can see a little bit better, right? This is a video that was uploaded on June 27th, 2025. Currently, when I took the screenshot, it had 14,000 views, 860 watch time in hours, and it's gained 434 current subscribers. As you can see, this video is still 144 days later, still actually getting views, right? In the last 48 hours from the screenshot was taken, it had 29 views. This is a power view. This was uploaded on June 27, 2025, right? We're talking about 5 months ago, and this video is still actually bringing in leads. It's still actually bringing in calls, and it's still actually bringing in revenue for this YouTube channel. And then we have one here. This is June 9th, 2025, and you can still see, right, 162 days later, this video is still getting views. And in just the last 48 hours from when the screenshot was taken, right, it had 83 views. And that is simply the power of YouTube, right? This is a video, these are videos I was uploaded 5-6 months ago, and they are still bringing in results because they were done properly. These are results from people that are actively searching up issues, actually searching up the problems, actually searching up these videos, right? These are the videos, because they were optimized properly, they are now showing up on the search page, and they're still bringing in views, and like I said, still bringing in calls, still bringing in money. And this is essentially what I'm going to walk through in this video, so you can get a deeper understanding on how you can have videos like this that are constantly bringing in leads, even 5, 6, and it's going to keep going, right? This ain't going to stop. Even a year, 2 years later, still bringing in leads, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is actually finding YouTube ideas, right? You have to remember what the goal of YouTube is, right? You are there to solve your ICP's problems, right? Once you can do that and they watch your video, they will 100% trust you more and are much more likely to come to you for your service if you've actually helped them solve a specific issue that they have, right? But to do that, you need a process of figuring out, number one, what a good idea is, and the process of picking out the best ones. So here's my various methods to essentially finding ideas. So number one, it's just very simply, you have to use your client pain points. You have to know what your clients actively need help with. Once you can do that, you can generate a bunch of different ideas for your channel. And one simple thing you can do to do this is simply just download all the transcripts of your sales calls, put that into ChatGPT, and simply just ask ChatGPT, just list out all the pain points that people are talking about when you are in your sales calls, right? And you're going to see a massive list of pain points that you can actually talk about in your channels and help solve, right? And then you want to take away them pain points, and you want to do some YouTube keyword research, right? And I have other videos on this channel which I'll put in somewhere around here that you can go watch, and it's going to bring you, and it's going to tell you exactly how to do keyword research. It's a much longer, much more deeper topic, right, than I could do in this video. So go away, watch that video after this, and you're going to get much more understanding of how to do that. But once you can do that, you're going to essentially find keywords that, number one, ISP searching, and that number two, you can get a rough idea of the search volume, the competition, if it's a keyword that you should actually spend time on, is it one that you're going to rank for, etc. And essentially you want to find outliers. This all comes down to, again, doing a bunch of research prior to making a video. You want to find outliers, essentially videos that have performed really, really well for a specific channel. Normally it's a smaller channel and they have a video that has done a lot better than the other channels, and you want to find those sort of videos, figure out why they perform well, and then take those ideas and implement it into your own. But these are the various methods that I use to actually find ideas. And as I say here, I must urge how important this is to be done properly, right? This has to be done properly. You can skip this point here of finding good YouTube ideas, and then everything else fails, right? It all starts from getting a good YouTube ideas, and it all comes to, you have to do research beforehand. Yes, you can have this where you have, just client pain points, and this will be good to nurture leads, to send to someone that you potentially want to sign. But when it comes to actually doing well on YouTube, you have to do your research. You have to do research, which is why I recommend, after you watch this video, go away, watch that video on doing YouTube keyword research, and you're going to get a lot more insights onto actually how to do that. If you can't be bothered to do this yourself and essentially want a team of experts like myself to help you do this, then just book on a call in the first link down below. We can talk through this and I can see where exactly we can help you out. But anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is actually recording the video. And I work with, a bunch of people who do both, talking head or just simple loom styles like you're watching now. And regardless of what you go for, the goal of the video remains the same. It has to be valuable and it has to solve problems, right? If you make a video that's crap, not well thought out, or just simply has no value, then your channel will fail, right? And the way I think about this is, think about if you ever went to a restaurant and they made you food that you just didn't like. You are not going to go back. Or if you bought a laptop from a company and it just stopped working, or it was slow, or it was crap, or it didn't bring you what you expected it to bring from when you bought it, you wouldn't go back. And the same thing comes when it is YouTube content. If someone clicks on your video and they feel like they've wasted their time, they feel like you've not helped them out at all, or they feel like you don't know what you're talking about, you are going to lose a lot of trust, and most likely they will not come back and watch your video. They're going to find a competitor, they're going to find a different person that's made a similar video on a similar topic, and they're going to watch them, and then they'll probably go to them for their service. So even though you might think, oh, it's just one video, I don't need to put too much effort into it, as soon as you make a video that is not valuable, that is not helping them out, and they can tell is low effort, people will automatically click off, people will not come back to you. So that's incredibly important to make sure that every single video you actually do, you are putting effort into it, you're making it value, and you're helping solve people's problems. And like I say here, whether the video is talking head, whether it's Loom style, whether you're going out for a walk, whether it's in your car, wherever it is, whatever it is, make sure it's valuable. Make sure it's valuable, because like I said, it's very easy to lose trust in today's day and age. Very, very easy to lose trust. And all it takes, like I said, is one video to lose trust, and they'll never come back. And I don't go into too much detail on the structure of the video as well in this video, but essentially, and I think I've got another on my channel, I'll make sure I link it in here somewhere. You want to start with the hook, and the goal of the hook is to confirm the title and the thumbnail, and to essentially give a reason for someone to watch all the way until the end, right? So you confirm this, the video is going to cover this is what the video is about, and then, you know, just a bit of a thing of, if basically in this video I'm going to do this, so they know if they stay and watch through the end of the video, they know they're getting something out of it. Then the body, this is where you give value, this is where you go to detail, this is where you give your expertise. Don't let the viewer feel like they are getting nothing from the video at any point in the video, because it's that easy for them to click off, it's that easy for them to look on the suggestion section and click on a different video, or just go back to YouTube and look for someone else, right? So make sure every part of that video is detailed, every part of that video is valuable, and cut out anything that you feel is not meaningful to your audience. And then the outro, this is where you want to put a well thought out call to action to the best place to send that viewer from that specific video. It could be a booking a call, it could be a newsletter, it could be a lead magnet. Always CTA to another video as well at the end, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. So essentially, what you want to do is you have an initial call to action, which is to either book a call, to either a newsletter, to a lead magnet. And a lot of times this depends on the actual video. If you're doing a video that's based around a lead magnet, then you want to obviously direct people to that. If you just want people to come and book in a call with you based on what you spoke on the video, then direct people to that. And then after you do that call to action, which is your main call to action, you always want to call to CTA to another video, because if someone goes from one video to another video to another video, not only is that helping you in your YouTube algorithm, but they're also building up their trust. They're spending a lot more time with you, which means if they do come to you for your services, for a call, they're a lot more likely to buy it from you, right? And then the packaging, right? The packaging is extremely important when it does come to YouTube, right? You have to remember the goal of the thumbnail, right? The goal of the thumbnail is essentially, number one, stop someone scroll to make them pay attention. Number two, it should cause curiosity and urgency to make them read the title. And then once that's done, the title should be designed to, again, increase that urgency, increase that curiosity even more, and make them feel like they need to watch. So number one, they should look at your thumbnail and be intrigued at where it is. Number two, it should cause curiosity and urgency to them think, oh, I want to know more about this. And then they read your title, and then your title should be designed to make them want to click on the video. And as I say here, a thumbnail that is not optimized will not do this. Incredibly important, and something that a lot of people actually miss out on, and a lot of people do not pay attention to. But this is incredibly important to get the click on your video. It's very easy to have two videos around similar topics as you and your competitor, but if they have the more optimized thumbnail, if they have the better title, people will click on that one much more likely. They will click on your one. And whilst you might think, oh, having a thumbnail is not too important, that could be a massive difference to you getting a sale or to you not getting a sale. So always think about your thumbnail, always think about your packaging, because that's what's going to make people click on your video. And these are the things that you have to stop using random screenshots as thumbnails, right? They just do not work. Someone looks at a random screenshot, they don't care. You're not building up that urgency, you're not building up the curiosity. Stop adding too much to your thumbnail. It's essentially you making it too busy. Make the thumbnail simple, to the point, a couple of words, maybe an image or an icon somewhere, but do not put too much in the thumbnail. Definitely do not put too many words, and definitely do not copy what's in the title into the thumbnail. And overall, just make sure it's not low quality, right? Have a good picture, make sure it's edited, right? Don't have tiny little of yourself down there in the corner. Make sure the thumbnail itself is actually something high quality, someone looks at and can admire. And as well, like I said, build out the urgency, build out curiosity. That is the main goal of the video. And then when it comes to editing, right, you do not need to do anything too crazy, especially in the B2B space, right? Obviously, cut out any mistakes, any pauses. Just make it flow smoothly, right? You want someone to watch through your video and not have to think, oh, that was a bit awkward, or why didn't that get cut out, or see a mistake here, right? Just make it simple, make it flow, cut out any mistakes. And then for the intro, I recommend having it edited, right? But make sure that the editing is adjusted to your ICP. It's not always essential to have it edited, but I would recommend. But as I say here, it has to make sure that you've adjusted your editing to your ICP. What a 16-year-old would watch versus what a 40-year-old businessman or a 60-year-old businessman or a 70-year-old, whatever it is two very different edits. And this is important because if that 40-year-old businessman clicks on the video and it's edited for a 16-year-old, but you're targeting the 40-year-old businessman, they're not going to watch, right? They're going to click this thing, this is not for me, and click off and go somewhere else. So it's incredibly important to think about this when you edit your video, right? Now, SEO and video optimization. This goes back to what I was mentioning earlier about finding YouTube videos. The research that you should have done, the research that you should have put time and effort into making is super important to now optimizing your video, right? This is incredibly important. This is the best way to make sure that you are reaching the audience you want. This is the easiest and the most important way to tell YouTube, hey, by the way, this is who I'm trying to reach. This is the audience that I want my video to go to. When you can do this properly, you are going to see a much bigger improvement in the quality of the viewer for your video, right? We're not trying to aim to get 100,000 views. We're trying to get the right person to watch our video at the right time so that they come to us for our services, right? And from the research, you should have a keyword that you optimize that video around. One keyword or phrase for one specific video. Again, I have videos that go over this in a bit more detail. Check my channel for them after this video, right? Now, here's a few things that you need to optimize, and essentially the structure that I would recommend to have for your description, right? The first time description, I say needs to, it doesn't need to, right? But I always try to include a keyword just because that's, well, in my opinion, right, that seems to help with the YouTube algorithm. When again you have your keyword in that first time description, it's going to help because when people are searching it in, a lot of the time they see the top of the description. And then you have an optimized call to action, right? An ideal call to action for that specific video. You don't have to have just one, but I'd always recommend do not have more than 2 or 3 in one section, right? Because you're then giving people too many options, and that can easily mean they click on the wrong one or don't click on one at all because they don't know which one to click on. So give them one option ideally, or 2, right? One could be, for example, a call to action to a call, and then the second one could be a call to action to a lead magnet if they don't want to book in that call there and then, right? And then you want to have a fully optimized description around that keyword for that video, not just a general description describing what the video does or what you're talking about in the video. It needs to include the keyword multiple times. The more times you can include the keyword, much more, you're more likely to actually rank for that keyword. But try not to essentially spam the keyword. So if someone actually does go and read it to where they're just overwhelmed with this keyword, make sure to introduce it, organically. Put it in there, where it suits, right? You can use it a lot, but just make sure it reads naturally, right? It flows smoothly. And then you always want to include chapters, right? This is, first of all, number one, more places to introduce the keyword. Makes it easier for the viewer, and it just helps watch time, in my opinion, right? Some people disagree, thinks they can just skip to another part of the video, but I think it helps. And again, chapters is another way that when people are searching specific things, that's going to rank for keywords, right? Always have that keyword included, right? More places to include a keyword. And then you, underneath that, just put some extra video topics, extra keywords. This is just to help reach a few more keywords, such the keywords around the main keyword. And just use something like rapid tags. It's super easy. It takes you 2 seconds. So just have it under there to just help you rank for a little, some more extra keywords. But the main thing to focus on is the main keyword for that video. And again, you always want to have it in your, you always want to have that keyword in your title, right? But what is the point of all this? Like I said, the goal of YouTube is to solve your ICP's problems. In order to do that, you have to be able to reach them. And as I say here, the best way to do this is to, number one, find ideas that resonate with them. Number two, optimize your SEO so YouTube knows who exactly it's for. And you optimize your video to get the click and keep them watching. And then obviously you want a call to action to the next step, right? Once you can do this, and you can do this consistently, and you can do this properly, right? Very important to, number one, consistent, and number one, to do it properly, right? This is not a thing that you want to rush. When you start rushing this, you're going to see that the views, the people watching your content, that's all going to decrease. You want to optimize this, and you want to take your time with this, and you want to stay consistent, right? When you can do that, you are going to see really, really good results. YouTube takes time, but over time, this will be your best conversion channel you have for your business, right? Consistency, doing it properly, doing as explained here, right? Number one, find ideas. Number two, optimize so YouTube can push it to the right audience. And then you optimize your packaging, your video, so they click on it and they watch it. And then you optimize your call to action so that they're actually taking the call to action you want them to take. And like I said, once you can do this properly, over the course of a month, 2-3 months, with consistency, done it properly, you will see results. It's as simple as that. So listen, if you're B2B or an agency and you want to start seeing some real results for YouTube, then click the first link down below and book in a call with me. We can talk over your business, we can talk over your current YouTube channel and see if there's a way that I can actually help you to optimize all of this properly, so you don't have to waste time on trial and error. You can just simply get the results there and then, and you're saving yourself a whole bunch of time as well. And I would recommend you to go watch on my previous video that is on screen now, where essentially it's going to show you how you can rank your business #1 when it does come to YouTube. So when people are searching these specific keywords, how to make sure you are the one that's popping up at the top. I'll see you there. Take care. Bye bye.